So I've been debating doing this for a while, but I have this old Yamaha, I believe it's steel snare drum from when I first started playing. Now, I've looked into it a little bit, don't exactly know everything about it, but I know that it's older than I am. And I stripped a lot of the parts to build other snare drums. Now I kind of want to go back and put all those parts back on to this drum, just to see what it's like, to see if I remember it, sounding good. Because when I stripped off these parts, I had a lot less experience tuning drums and making drums sound good themselves. Metal snares just sound really good, and they have their own unique flair and flavor. So I thought I'd restore this guy to working order. He'll need some cleaning and some TLC, but get it back to where it used to be. The lugs are weird in that, I don't know if you can see, but they've got 3 screw holes for the lugs. And let me grab something. I used that lug design to design this snare drum. And so I really like how this one turned out, but I still want to go back and see what I can do to old Yamaha, because I've thought of another lug configuration that I could turn this guy into, so we'll see.
So right here I'm covering the drum in Brasso. Now I wanted to use a respirator, and I have a door open that is off camera, just because like this stuff's pretty volatile. I could smell it even through the respirator, so it's pretty powerful stuff.
So cover this thing in Brasso. It said to let it sit and dry and then wipe. So I will do those things. In the meantime, I might go ahead and start taking off the hardware from the other drums and putting it onto here. First of all, I apologize for the incredible mess back there. But these 2 drums are where the rest of the Yamaha snares hardware is. So, of course, like I said, this red segmented snare has all the lugs, and this blue snare, which is actually the first snare drum I made, has the Yamaha's hoops, butt plate, and throw off. So we'll have to harvest all those back, and just again replace them with some other hardware. But I think it'll be cool, and I'm excited to see how the Yamaha sounds.
Side note, if you are a drummer who does not own a drum key drill bit, you should really own one.
Something else that's interesting about this Yamaha is that it's got these weird overhangs for where the strap for the snare wires goes through. So I don't understand why exactly they do this. If I figure it out before I publish this video, then I'll put it up there. But yeah, it's always been something weird. I rarely see it on other drums, especially like drum kit snares. So it's very interesting. For the purposes of this drum, this blue one, they weren't exactly the greatest. They kind of hindered where I could place it. But for the sake of historical, accuracy, I'll keep this one on the Yamaha.
And as I take off the rest of the hardware, let me take this time to tell you about today's sponsor, me, because I'm not sponsored. I really have enjoyed making these drum videos, and I plan on doing more. I'll talk more about this at the end, but if you like it, please, send me a message or whatever. I don't know. I don't care. Do what you want.
And apparently, past me wanted to be really nice to myself. And so I left all of these screws in a box. I don't know if they're all there, but at the very least, this is a really good start. So, thank you, Past John. All right, so the brasso's off. It is looking really nice and really reflective. I'm pretty happy with how this worked out. That brasso was like super old, so I didn't even know if it would work. But yeah, it did its job. It's still pitted. I knew brasso wasn't gonna fix that. It's just an old drum, so I don't really mind it. Now onto the interesting part, which is a little game I like to call, does John still have all of the hardware? I think the answer is yes, but I'm not entirely sure. I know I've got all the lugs. I hope I've got all the lug screws. And the tension rods, I'm not sure exactly which ones came with the drum. Some of them might have been on the red snare. Some of them are probably in a bag somewhere. We'll just have to see if everything's there. But I believe that I have everything that I need, so we'll see.
At this point, it's just basic, like, putting hardware back on drums, but as I started to put on the lugs specifically, I ran into the major problem of this rebuild.
Alright, so I've been trying a lot of solutions to this problem. If you can see here, these bolts for the lugs are not straight, and they are not fitting into the drum. So what I'm going to try to do is hit just the very bottom of these holes with a quick file, because I think that might open up the holes a little bit to allow for the lugs to sit in there. Because once they're in there, they'll be fine. And once they're sat, like, there won't be any real change to the drum, just a little bit of material knocked off the very edge of the hole. So hopefully this works. We'll see.
This method of grinding out the bottoms of the holes worked out really well. The only issue is that the holes are weirdly shaped in that they kind of just barely let the lugs in, and I don't know how difficult it would be to take them back out again. And plus I didn't want to grind into the shell, but oh well, you know, stuff happens.
Well, that worked. I hated to, you know, file parts of the drum because I wanted it to stay as original as possible, but the lugs were just really, really wonky, and it was just kind of the only way that I could think of, because I tried to bend the lug, the inside threaded bits back into shape to where it would fit the drum, but it didn't really work, and I was really scared of breaking the lugs beyond repair. So this works. I'll move forward with this. It's all together now, and I just gotta add heads and tension rods and rims, and we'll be good.
Now this is the point where I was starting to get like really excited about the drum being done. Yes, I did use old heads that were on the old blue snare. I know that's sacrilegious, but I had to do it. I didn't want to go buy new heads. It was already like pretty late in the evening, so I'm just gussying it up with stuff I already had, so sue me. Now I fully realized that I could go into the whole history of Yamaha drums and when this drum was made. Side note, I believe it's from the 80s, but I kind of don't want to do that because I don't really see a need to. There's enough people out there who know what kind of drum this is. I know it's like an old recording custom type of drum, but that's about it. So I just know this as my first snare drum, so that's how you know it now.
Aw, snap.
Now, out of all of these tunings, high is definitely my favorite. When it's in the mid to low, it's got a really untamable ring that's really hard to rein in.
All right, well, I'm pretty happy with this. I think that it sounds good. It sounds like a snare drum. I think some of the mid to low ranges are a little bit finicky. They've got some weird ringiness to it. I think that some dampening might be in order, but I tried a gel on it and it just took all of the presence away and it just had snare. So yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to test it out. But yeah, I don't know yet whether or not I'm gonna sell this drum or you know, keep it just as like a all-around snare drum. But yeah, this has been fun. I've really enjoyed taking a look back at the snare drum and what it has to offer. You know, just letting it breathe again has been fun. But if you like this, if you want to see more of it, let me know, and I'll try to do some more. We'll see if anything happens. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you watched to the end, and I'll see you later.